Hello everybody, it's Maikito, and as you can tell from the title, at least as of now, I'll update it as the day finishes up. So far, not all the props have finished because some of the games are the last game is at 8 p.m. I believe and stuff like that. I'll update it later on, but that's besides the point. Tomorrow there's a large slate, a lot of games to go through. I found some picks that I did like. Not as many as I thought I would find, but still plenty of picks for the Saturday slate. And if I have any more added plays, as always, I will add them in the pinned comment in this YouTube video. But let's get straight into the picks. And the first one is Lucas Hardecki to go higher than 2 saves, playing at home for Leverkusen, going up against Frankfurt. Leverkusen is a good offensive team, like I've mentioned a lot before, but not the best defensive team. He's had 2+ in all 8 games that he's played so far this season, and Frankfurt is in good form. They're in form team with Marmoush, who got Player of the Month for the Bundesliga, and his striker partner Etikite. And opposing Frankfurt keepers have had 2+ in 4 out of 5 games and 5 out of 5 away games. So they've been shooting well. They've been shooting a lot. So I think they're underestimating how good Frankfurt is going to play. And Leverkusen are weak versus through balls, while Frankfurt like to play with through balls. So it's just a perfect matchup for Frankfurt to find and exploit that space against them. He had 2+ in both games against Frankfurt last season, and Leverkusen have actually conceded the 5th most goals so far in the league this season. So it's going to be plenty of chances for Frankfurt to find that space. We just need him to get at least 2 saves. If it gets bumped up to 2.5, you can still take it there. I like Lucas Hardecki to go higher than 2 saves. My next prop is Diogo Dalot to go higher than 0.5 shots, playing at home for Man U, going up against Brentford. He hasn't shot as much this season. He's only shot in 1 out of 7 games. But last season, he averaged 0.85 shots per 90 and averaged a little more at home at 0.9. He went over against them in both games last season, home and away, and he had 2 shots in both of those games. So he had 4 shots in 2 games, and that's because he pushes forward. And Brentford still allow a lot of shots, just like last season. They've allowed so far 18.3 shots against them, 20 of them 20 shots away, so they obviously concede more shots when they play away from home. And he's going to be the only real fullback. Mashraoui is not expected to start because he's coming back after his heart palpitations that he was having and stuff like that. So he's back in training but not expected to start. And then the only other fullbacks is Luke Shaw, he's injured, and Malacia's injured. So their menu's probably going to play a center back at left back. So Dalot's going to be the only real right back. So he's going to be the main one pushing up. So he's going to have a lot of opportunities, and I expect him to play full minutes. He's done good against them last season. He's just been unlucky this season. I like this prop. I like Diogo Dalot to go higher than 0.5 shots. My next prop is Adam Hlozek to go higher than 3 shots, playing at home for Hoffenheim, going up against Bochum. He's had 3+ in 5 out of 6 games. The only under was when Hoffenheim got a red card 18 minutes into the game against Bremen. He had 2 shots in that game. If there would have been a man up, he would have had more opportunities and would have got at least 3 for sure. And Bochum, on average, have allowed 18 shots so far this season and allowed more away from home at 20.7. So far he has shot 6 shots from outside the box and 6 shots from inside the box. So he's willing to shoot from anywhere where he's got the opportunities, which is good for us. And Bochum are weak against through balls and counterattacks. And Hoffenheim, their main play, the main way they find opportunities is through balls, which is good for us, and I think it's a good matchup. He didn't get a lot of chances with Leverkusen where he played last season. He played a lot of games off the bench, so he didn't have a lot of opportunities. He's been showing so far this season that when he starts, he will go out there and he will shoot the ball, and he'll get through balls from Kramaric, the center attacking mid / center forward, Gentry and Price, who are the left wing backs and right wing backs that overlap and cross the ball in, and Grealish as well. So I think it's a good prop to take against a weak Bochum side. He's been doing good so far. I like Adam Hlozek to go higher than 3 shots. The last player prop that I found so far that I've liked is Tim Kleindienst to go higher than 3 shots, playing at home for Mönchengladbach, going up against Heidenheim. He's had 3+ or gone over his mark in 5 out of 7 games that he's played for Gladbach. Excuse me. He's averaged 3.39 shots per 90 so far this season, and he's good in the air. He's 6'4", so he's really tall, and he wins 97% of aerial duels, which is good. So far this season, he's had 9 headers, 7 with his left and 3 with his right. And last season, he had 34 headers, 33 with his left and 14 with his right. So first of all, like I said, aerial duels is the main his bread and butter. But either way, he can shoot with his left and his right, so he's just a very versatile striker in general. And he's with a better team now than when he was last season. He can get passes from people like Stoger, Playa, Onrat, and Weigl, and he's playing against Heidenheim, which is his former team. So I expect a little more motivation for him to go out there and try to take those shots and maybe score against them or something, but I expect him to go out there and play hard. And Heidenheim do not keep a lot of possession, which means more chances for Mönchengladbach to go out there and shoot. And I think 3.0 is a good mark for him. I like Tim Kleindienst to go higher than 3 shots. Before I get into the money lines, as always, I have the YouTube membership for those that are interested, that wants to get the plays out early and the videos early before everybody else, to try to avoid potential bumps and plays getting taken away. And it's also a great way to support the channel if you want to do that. If not, I have my underdog and PrizePicks codes linked in the description. That's where I put my player props. And then for the money lines, I use Fliff. That's linked in the description as well. And I also have my Cashapp if you ever want to donate. Never always required. And just liking, commenting, subscribing, turning on notifications, all that helps out the channel. And I really want to appreciate and thank everybody who supports me in any way. My first money line play is Man U to go higher than 1.5 goals playing against Brentford at home. They haven't been in the best goal scoring form, and a lot of people might fade this play, but I actually personally like this play. They've gone over in 1 out of 7 games, but if you look at the games that they've played so far, they've played against Aston Villa, they've played against Tottenham, they've played against Liverpool, they've played against Brighton, they've played against tough teams. They haven't had the best matchups. They've gone against good defensive teams, while Brentford on the other hand have played 3 away games so far and have conceded 2+ in all 3 games. They conceded 3 to Spurs, 2 to Man City, and 2 to Liverpool. And last season they conceded 31 goals in 19 away games, so they're not the best defensive side at all. They've allowed 18.3 shots so far this season, 20 of them being at home. Away from home, so they allow more shots away than they do at home, and they do not keep possession of the ball. I expect Man U to control the ball and have the ball a lot more, which just means more opportunities for them. And they are expected to, with the comeback of Højlund, while people made fun of him for how he played last season, he still had 12 goals and assists and 25 starts, and he's still underrated in my opinion. He played internationally, so now he's already warmed up, ready to play. And they have Bruno Fernandes, who was in form internationally with the man of the match performance, I believe, against Poland. He still had a good game against Scotland. And then they are expected to start Eriksen as well in the midfield as the CDM, and he provides a lot of attacking chances as well up in the attack. So Man U has been doing as good on the offensive side, but they're having a good matchup now after some tough defensive matchups that they've had before, and Brentford are just not a good defensive team. So I like this prop. I like Man U to go higher than 1.5 goals. My next prop is the Arsenal money line going up against Bournemouth away from home. They've won 5 out of 7 games so far in the league so far. They haven't lost a single game. The other 2 were draws, and that was to Brighton and Man City. 2 good defenses, while Bournemouth is not that. They played each other twice last season, and Arsenal won both games. They played at home, won 3-0. They played away, and they won 4-0 as well. And Bournemouth can score, but don't really seem to do as good in scoring, especially against bigger teams. They were scoreless against Chelsea, and they were scoreless against Liverpool, and they have so far conceded in every single game that they've played so far this season in the Prem. They've conceded to opponents have been able to score at least 1 goal in every single game, and that's super dangerous, especially against Arsenal. You saw what happened last season. They beat them 3-0 and 4-0, and Arsenal already have a good defense, and they have a healthy attack other than Odegaard, but that hasn't seemed to be affecting them so far. They're just a much better team. And when I was talking about possession, Bournemouth gave Chelsea 67%, and they give Liverpool 59% of the ball. So Arsenal's going to control the game as well, and I think you're getting pretty good value here just because they're playing away from home. But I just like the matchup. I just think this is too heavily in favor of Arsenal, and I expect them to go out there and get the win against a team that they've done easily against last season. So like the Arsenal money line against Bournemouth. For my last money line play, I'm giving another slip. You can currently get this at -105 on Fliff. And the first one is the PSG money line against Strasbourg. They beat them in both games last season. Strasbourg have conceded 8 goals in 3 away games so far, and PSG have won all 3 home games that they've played so far this season, scoring 12. So they've averaged 4 goals scored at home and have only conceded 2. And they've been playing much more as a team, and honestly better than what they did last season since Mbappe left. They've been playing as a team with more chemistry, and Strasbourg have 2 suspended players and a lot of injuries. They're nowhere near healthy, and PSG is just a much better team. So I like their money line against Strasbourg. The second one is Leipzig or draw against Mainz. They're yet to lose so far this season. They've only conceded 2 goals in 6 games, and they don't have any big major injuries. The reason why they've been playing not as good is because they've been unable to score as good as they have last season, but it hasn't affected their defense, and that's the main reason why I also like this play. 2 The two wins that Mainz have had so far this season, which is the only way that this play wouldn't hit, is if Mainz win / Leipzig lose. They won against St. Pauli and against Augsburg, two bad defensive teams, and they will easily struggle against Leipzig. The two games that they played last season, one was a draw, which this probably would have hit, and the only reason why they drew is because it required a 9-save man of the match performance from the Mainz keeper, in which they were Leipzig were expected to score 2.58 goals, and the other one they lost when they played away, but that's because they had a heavy squad rotation, and I don't expect that here. They need to take advantage of this matchup. They're just a better team with better squad depth, and I like them. I don't think they lose here, so I could like to or draw against Mainz. And the last one is the Inter Miami money line going up against New England. The main reason why I like this play is because if Inter Miami win this game, they will break the all-time record for most points in the league at the end of the season with this win here. So I expect them to go out there, especially at home, and be aggressive. It's just a perfect matchup for them. Leipzig have the second worst defense away from home in the league and the 5th worst offense, and they played earlier this season away from home and they won 4-1, and now they're playing at home, which is just even better. And obviously they have Messi, who just came off a hat trick, 3 goals and 2 assists with 5 goal involvements for Argentina. And New England have lost their last 4 out of 5 games and their last 5 out of 5 away games. There's no reason for New England to go out there and win. They've already eliminated. They have no chances. This is the last game. Sure, they might go out there and try to spoil the Inter Miami party, but Inter Miami is just a much better team. They're in form. They're going to go out there and try to break that record. So I like this. I like the Inter Miami money line against New England. And those are 3 players you can get. Obviously, you can separate them, add them to your own parlays, or you can add them together like how I'm doing and get this at a -105 slip. Thank you everybody for watching. Quickly going over last video's picks, like I mentioned, the Atlas play, the Aldo for the midfielder for Atlas, and the Atlas money line play haven't played yet. But so far, when it comes to player props, 2 of the YouTube ones that I've played so far both hit. Kobo under 2.5 hit, and Vasil higher than 4 saves. Both of those hit. And then we had the money line play, the slip. That was just so unfortunate. We had the Dortmund money line that hit. We had under 3.5 goals for the Monaco Lille. Both of those hit. The one that missed was the one that I actually expected to be the safest one, and that was the under 3.5 for the Alaves and I believe Valladolid game. And that was just because Alaves gave 2 penalties to Valladolid, and if that wouldn't have happened, that would have stayed at 3. So it was just unfortunate there. Things like that happen, I suppose, but hopefully we can carry on that momentum and Atlas can come through for us so we can have a good day. Like I said, the title's a little different, but I will change it as the game finishes and stuff like that. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, a good day. If I have any added plays, will be in the pinned comment. Join the Discord for you if you want to join as well, where we talk about slips, plays, and stuff like that. But other than that, thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.